Rayshonda Lewis served the people of Markham as a police officer full-time since 2011, yet last month she quickly resigned. Officer Lewis stepped away from her $83,000 a year job because, according to federal documents, she applied for a PPP loan for $20,000 and submitted false and fabricated documents, including IRS forms claiming she owned a catering business, which grossed $97,000 during 2020. Yet the feds say Lewis knew none of the foregoing facts were true.
To have someone wearing a badge to take advantage of a program, that's concerning.
Markham City Administrator Derek Champion says the federal government first contacted the city about their probe of Lewis in December, and within weeks, she struck a deal.
She resigned at that point.
The federal case against Lewis is sealed, but through an open records request CBS 2 submitted to Markham, we're able to show the documents the feds provided to the city. They include the agreement Officer Lewis signed where she admits to breaking the law, but she avoids jail time and a conviction on her record if she completes 80 hours of community service with probation.
Did you expect it to be this bad?
I expected it to be this bad.
That's because Lewis isn't the only officer in Markham under investigation for PPP fraud. I'm trying to figure out why your lawn care service is not registered as a licensed business with the city of Markham. That's Officer Kenneth Muldrow in 2021 after CBS 2 uncovered he applied for a PPP loan with the police station's address.
You still have one officer still working, Kenneth Muldrow, who is still under probe.
That's correct.
A third officer transferred to a new police department.
We have identified those individuals that have a watchful eye from the federal government they're under the microscope.
A shopping spree for luxury items and spending hundreds of thousands of dollars in just a matter of days. That's what federal prosecutors say this man, 29-year-old Lee Price III of Houston, did immediately after receiving more than $1.6 million by defrauding an emergency COVID-19 relief program called the Paycheck Protection Program. But prosecutors say Price defrauded the program by applying for 5 different loans at 5 different banks in Boston, Salt Lake City, Oklahoma City, Charlotte, and San Francisco, all to obtain money for non-existent companies that had no employees. The Small Business Administration oversees the program.
According to the official criminal complaint against Lee Price III, he started spending that PPP money almost immediately on incredibly lavish items, including $233,000 on a Lamborghini Urus like this one. And that was just the beginning of his spending spree.
Prosecutors say Price spent another $14,000 on a Rolex watch, $2,500 on 2 Houston nightclubs, $2,000 at a local strip club, and more than $100,000 to lease a brand new office in Memorial City.
It saddens me that it happens, but you got to expect it's going to happen with such a big program. There's going to be fraud involved.
Jerry Tonopole is an SBA loan specialist at Community Bank.
One lender in the Northeast did over 100,000 applications.
He says the problem is that some banks actually paid to get as many loan applications as they possibly could.
I know for a fact that bank took it from 3 online platforms. So people would go into the platform, they'd apply for their loan, and then that bank would pay that platform a commission for getting the loan done for them.
Lee Price III now faces several federal charges, including making false statements to a financial institution, wire fraud, and bank fraud. If convicted, he could serve more than 30 years in prison. On our website right now, we have the stories of 6 other people also accused of scamming the PPP loan program out of millions of dollars. And federal prosecutors are planning to charge more individuals in the months ahead.
This week, federal prosecutors in North Texas announced a huge pandemic relief fraud bust. 18 people arrested for allegedly stealing millions from the Paycheck Protection Program aimed at helping small businesses navigate pandemic closures. Among those arrested, 47-year-old Jason Geiger, also known as Austin St. John, best known for his role as the original Red Power Ranger from the 1990s. TMZ reports agents swarmed his McKinney home Thursday, armed and left with Geiger in handcuffs. 14 of those arrested are from North Texas. The U.S. Attorney's narrative says 2 men, one from Mineral Wells, the other from Louisville, allegedly started the scheme to defraud the Small Business Administration. John Helms is a former federal prosecutor in North Texas.
There's going to be documents that will show the bank account being open, the money coming in, the money going out. All of that will be well documented.
Federal investigators say one recruited the others into the scheme, and the other assisted with making fake documents. The others named in the indictment allegedly paid the men, then transferred money to their personal accounts. 16 loans were obtained, totaling $3.5 million.
I don't think if any of these cases go to trial that it's going to rely heavily on witness testimony that's not completely corroborated by lots of records.
Pandemic relief fraud is extensive. In December, the Secret Service estimated COVID relief fraud neared $100 billion. Only $1 billion has been recovered at that point. Helms says there will be many more busts just like this one.
What you're seeing now is them trying to come back in, get a lot of the money back, and also get justice for the people who abuse the program.